Hello and welcome to this demo. In this demo, we're going to look at pods in Kubernetes. So here I have my Kubernetes cluster set up. I have a master and two worker nodes. And on my master node, I'm going to deploy a pod. So before that, I'm going to check the status of my nodes by running the kubectl get nodes command. So I have three nodes, one master and two workers. And to deploy a pod, I could use the kubectl or kubectl run command with the nginx image. So I'm going to specify the name of my pod, which is going to be nginx, and the image that I'm going to use for my pod, for my Docker container, is also named as nginx. As you can see, it comes back with the message that deployment nginx has been created. So that's good. And if I now run the kubectl get pods command, I see that there's a pod, but it's currently in the state container running. If I run the same command again after a few seconds or minutes, I will be able to see that it's in a running state. So that's good. To get more information about the pod, I could run the kubectl describe pods command, and as you can see in the output, it lists detailed information about the pod. It tells you on which node or which worker it is running. So we know that we have two workers, kube node 1 and kube node 2. This pod is in fact running on kube node 2. And you can also see the nginx image, the name of the image that was used. If you scroll down, you'll see additional information such as a set of events that followed the creation of the pod. As you can see, there were actually a few warnings and failures where it failed to pull the nginx image from the Docker Hub registry, but it eventually pulled it off after a few tries. And you can actually see those information in the event. So if you run the kubectl get pods command with the -o wide parameter, then you will actually see two additional fields in the output, which was not available earlier. You have an IP and a node field. The IP is the IP that is assigned to a pod, so each pod gets its own IP address in Kubernetes. We will discuss about IP addresses and pods, and later on in the networking section of the course, we will discuss that in detail. But for now, just remember that each pod gets its own IP address, its internal IP address. In this case, it happens to be 10.244.2.14. And you can also see the node on which this particular pod is deployed, and that is kube node 2. Well, that's it for this demo. We were able to successfully deploy a pod. In the later demos, we will see more about how this pod fits into other components of Kubernetes, such as replica sets, deployments, etc. Thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next lecture.